Hi guys, my name is Oliver and I'm the president of the Zodiaq project, and I would like you to introduce your technology. So with Zodiaq we are trying to create a new generation of financial blockchain. The development vector of the platform is directed towards the revolutionary directive PSD2, according to which banks will be required to open their API. In the next 10 years, banks in the usual sense will cease to exist, and they will be replaced by companies that operate as services in accordance with the directive PSD2, which will allow money transfers without intermediaries, direct from the sender to the recipient. Banks will have only one function. This is storing information about the balances of customers' accounts. On this principle, for example, Amazon is already working. The infrastructure of the Zodiaq project is built on the basis of infrastructure components: the bank, the exchange, the payment system, the hedge fund, which allows to provide a wide range of financial instruments, instant money transfers and settlement clearing operations in fiat and cryptocurrencies, trading and on the exchange, investing, issuing bank cards with the support of cryptocurrencies, legal factory and withdrawal of funds. Following the PSD2 directive, Zodiaq will become an indispensable tool and financial platform to which third-party banks will be connected, which will become a provider of crypto payments in the legal field. The first stage of our project, we created our own bank, got a banking license with the right to carry out traditional banking activities and also carry out operations in cryptocurrencies, got SWIFT and other permissive documents. We need our bank to serve the interests of the corporation and to run the business model in real mode. After that, we will begin to connect the platform via API third-party banks, giving them access to all functionality and capabilities of the systems. By scaling and joining more and more financial services and institutions, thus increasing the customer base of users, we plan to reach a market coverage of at least 3% of the volume of the cryptocurrency market in $5 trillion, $400 billion. With an average commission of 0.5%, Zodiaq's revenue will be estimated at around $8.1 billion per year. Zodiaq is a blockchain platform, and with its own bank, it's only the first stage on the way of building a large platform, which we have. Cut it again. Zodiaq is a blockchain platform, and with its own bank, it's only the first step in the direction of developing an own ecosystem. The introductory part. The technological core of the Zodiaq platform consists of an automated banking system and an engine for accounting transactions in cryptocurrencies. We have developed the first version of the interface with a functionality that allows you to replenish and withdraw funds, transfer funds between users or account owners, to provide secure OTC transactions for the exchange of cryptocurrencies to fiat. In this video, we want to show you how it works. First, we need to go to your private office. Enter your login and password, press enter. We're waiting for the confirmation code. One moment. Okay, got the code. I enter the code, it's 8982. Everything is fine. The system automatically recognized the code received by SMS. So here we see now our dashboard. On the left side of the screen is the control menu. Navigation buttons for your personal office, payments, maps, history, etc. are available. The interface is under development, so do not judge strictly. All functions are not yet available here. In the personal account, in this part of the personal office, you see the main information about your account. Your login, profile type, personal or corporate, the status of your account, and UIN code. This code is your personal account number within the system. By this number, the system identifies you as a customer or as a client. And for example, if you want to transfer money to someone, you need to know, obviously, the UIN code, which is similarly working, let's say, like your account number of the person to whom you are transferring money. It's super convenient as usual online banking. Balance. Below is your balance in US dollars. It includes the value of all the underlying assets in crypto and fiat currencies at the current time at the rate. Therefore, depending on the course of cryptocurrencies, it can change. On the right-hand side, you see a list of cryptocurrencies with which you can work. At the current time, our system supports 2 fiat currencies, the dollar and euro, and 4 cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and the currency Zod, which is our own currency for the project. A little lower, we implemented a graph that graphically displays the state of your wallet and the percentage of currencies that are on your accounts. Here you can also choose one of the currencies and see how much the specific or how much of the specific currency you own in your accounts. In our case, it is clear that the main part of our balance is the US dollar and a little crypto ether. Below is a section of the history of your transactions. You can click on it and see all the transactions that have taken place on your account lately. Here you can see your last transactions. Good. Now we will look at the payment sections. Various types of financial transactions are displayed here. On the first button, with this button you can convert funds into another currency. If you have any amount of money, you can buy Bitcoin right here using this window. Button 2. With this service, you can safely exchange money with another user. For example, if you want to change the fiat money for Bitcoin with another user, but none of you wants to send the money first because you're afraid that you may be deceived. So to do this, you can use our escrow guarantee exchange server, which should guarantee the fulfillment of obligations on both sides. For each party, the transaction will be absolutely safe, since the system only approves a transaction if the fulfillment of obligations on either side, on both sides, has been taken place. It is very convenient nowadays. With this button, you can send money to another user. For this, you need just to know the account number, which is the UIN, and just transfer it. Through these buttons, you can replenish and withdraw money from the bank by bank payment. Here are these buttons. Here's the button for the replenishment of funds by bank transfer and the button for the withdrawal of funds by bank transfer. A little lower you find another two buttons. A button for the replenishment of the account in cryptocurrency and a button for the cash withdrawal in cryptocurrencies. Now let's go to the section of the map. You can see the section with the maps. Here you can bind your bank cards to the Zodiaq or connect your bank cards to the Zodiaq system to carry out operations or replenish your account, for example. Let's try. So we choose our address and then submit. Next we go to the map binding page. So we need to enter some data. In this field we need to enter the number of the card. Below the expiration date, your name, the CVV code and other things. And let's process. So we wait for the confirmation code, 1 moment. I got it, it's 62653. We confirm. The system requested confirmation. Great. So now we tied our card to the system. Now we can replenish the balance of our account directly from the card. If you want, you can click on the card and remove it from the system. But until we do this, it will become more easy and more convenient soon. Excellent. So let's now try several operations between two users. I especially prepared the second window, which will be our second user. That will be clearly visible how the operations are displayed, or with this now you can see how the operations will be displayed in the interface of both personal offices, of both personal interfaces. First, let's go into the account of the second user. We also enter login and we have to enter a password. We have to wait for the SMS. The system recognizes the code as it was before. So our second user on the balance or has $10,164 on the balance. Let's make a simple script. Let's make a very simple first transaction. Let's try, for example, on the first account to buy within the system a bit of Bitcoin. And then we will transfer the bought Bitcoins to the second user. In order to carry out the operation of buying Bitcoins, we press the conversion of funds into another currency. Well, at this point, I would like you guys to focus on the fact that you can, if you want to convert the currency, that you can put something like a threshold in this. So meaning that you can specify a specific rate which is acceptable for you that you exchange your currency. So meaning if the rate is profitable or is reasoning with your threshold, then the deal or the system will back your deal. But if the rate is not in line with your threshold, the system will offer you another course, meaning that we are not just changing currencies based on the daily rate, but you can also put a threshold in. You can also make a transaction at the current rate of the system, which will be displayed in the conversion window, in which case the transaction will be executed on the machine. So far, we'll try to make a deal at a certain rate. So we have added to our own balance verification. We change dollars to Bitcoins. So we specify the amount for which we want to change Bitcoins, for example, $8,420. This is the current rate of about 1 Bitcoin. Somewhat the system tells us that we don't have enough money for such an operation. Below we indicate the rate at which we want to make a deal. Let's try 1-to-1. 1 Bitcoin now costs 8,420. It's like something the system does not like. Now we'll understand what exactly. Let's try to enter $10,000. Okay, I see. We don't have enough dollars on the balance sheet. Well, it makes sense. We have over $6,000 on the balance sheet. Let's buy Bitcoins for $5,000. The current Bitcoin rate remains at 8,420. The system has calculated the result, how much we will receive as a result of this transaction. So meaning that we can here see the amount of Bitcoin. In this field, you can specify the deadline for the application. That is, if during this time the dealer does not confirm the execution of the application, it will be automatically cancelled. Push send request. We're waiting for the confirmation code again. It's 297. All good. So the system confirmed that the transaction was completed. Now we go to the main window. We update the system. So we see that we have a new application for currency conversion. This application is now in consultation with the dealer. We are now in the dealer management system and confirm the transaction. The system confirmed that the transaction was completed. So now we go to the main window, we update the system. So we see that we have a new application for currency conversion. The application is now in consultation with the dealer. So we are now in a dealer management system and confirm the transaction. Everything is in order, everything is right from the side of the company, so the deal is confirmed. We update the balance sheet and we see the balance has less dollars and more Bitcoins. Now the number of Bitcoins on our account is 15.17%. We have also added the euro and the ether for the implementation of test transactions. So now let's imagine that we found the buyer for our Bitcoin somewhere. We agreed with them about a price and exchanged the numbers of our accounts in the Zodiaq system. We change our our own Bitcoins into dollars. To do this, we again go to the payment section, select the exchange of funds with the use of the Zodiaq system, and the application form of the transaction pops up. We create a new transaction, and in this field we indicate the account number of the second user with whom we want to conduct the transaction. In this case, it's a number that corresponds to the account numbers of the second user. We specify the currency, we change the Bitcoins for dollars, specify the volume of the currency that we specify immediately, the deduction of transaction costs for the transaction that would have enough Bitcoins to exchange. As a result, we receive this amount. So then we set the course. Well, suppose we bought Bitcoins at a rate of 8,420 in order to make us a little money. Let's point to $80 higher. It will be 8,500 for 1 Bitcoins. We'll specify the dollar currency. And here, similarly, you can specify the due date for the application. That is, if during this period, the user from the other side does not confirm the transaction will be automatically cancelled. So we can specify here comments of the transactions. You can specify if you want, and if you don't want, you don't have to. It's optional. In the summary field, the transaction parameters are calculated. How much we give, for how much we give the Bitcoins, and how much we want to receive. And that's all. Now we press send request and we wait for the confirmation code as usual, sent by SMS, by a short message. It's 9825. And everything is fine. The system has accepted the transaction and is processing it. Now we will enter the dealer management interface and check the transaction parameters. Right now it doesn't show any security reasons, which is good. In parallel, we update the interface of our second user. We see that he has an open deal, which he will need to confirm or even to cancel or decline but confirmation in case that he agrees with all the conditions. So we open it, and also displays us the terms of the transaction on which our first user invites him to perform the transaction. If the second user does not agree with something, then he can indicate his comments here. If all the conditions and parameters are set correctly and the terms of the transaction correspond to the agreements between the users, then the second user confirms the deal and presses the Pay and Exchange button. Also, the second user should receive a confirmation code on the phone. And let's see. So here comes the verification code. It's 8164. We enter this. And now the dealer sees the dealer sees that the second user has agreed to the terms, and he can check all the parameters and sufficient funds for both users of the transactions. Just a second. Everything is fine. The dealer has accepted operation and all conditions are met. Everything is correct. Now we update the balance sheet of the participants of our operation. All transactions took place perfectly. We see that the second user has now Bitcoins and the first one has dollars. We update the balance here, therefore, for the first user, and we see that the first user, as I supposed, has sent most of the Bitcoins he had. I want to add that this is really a convenient system since it allows you to make safe transactions even with people you have never seen in your life before. I mean, you all guys may know currently how that works if you want to do a Bitcoin to cash transaction or Bitcoin to non-cash transaction. So in the future, you can withdraw your funds to your card or send by bank transfers to an external payment system or pay for a product or service to a third-party bank. That's all for now. Follow us and wait for new services. Thank you very much. Bye.